This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock. Stop the clock.
The legislation. This is
I'd like to reclaim my
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein files.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is on videotape.
What started as a routine congressional hearing turned into total chaos after Representative Ted Lieu directly accused Attorney General Pam Bondi of lying under oath during a heated exchange over Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. And once Bondi tried to defend the DOJ's handling of the Epstein investigation, the entire hearing spiraled out of control.
Here today, I'm going to show you two photos.
Thank you.
I'm going to show you two photos of former Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. Under the law Congress passed, you were allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry that we redacted the victim's
Because you were
face?
following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim. Under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act, not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients, like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before
I agree with you.
You twice.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Never
I agree with
mentioned
you. I agree with you. During the
you not hear
Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures, but you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
Can I answer
Donald
that,
Trump.
though?
I want to move on to another
Can I
question.
answer your question about protecting
You
Prince
answered the
Andrew?
question.
You're saying no. I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Here's a video. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock. Stop the clock.
The legislation. This is
Time
ridiculous.
belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you, here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was gonna stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we say here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
May I respond?
Yeah, I don't know how you respond. No one can.
I did not ask a question,
He
Ms.
doesn't
You're
want
allowed
to talk
to.
about
I did
the
not ask a
horrific
question.
crime in California. He does not want to talk about
I did not ask a
crime
question.
in his state.
You can't just
Madam Attorney
ad-lib
General.
stuff. I did not ask a
Trump.
question.
Meeting will be in order. The gentleman has yielded back his time. I think our next witness will be.
What started as a tense congressional hearing quickly exploded into one of the most dramatic confrontations of the day after Representative Ted Lieu directly accused Attorney General Pam Bondi of lying under oath right in front of Congress. And once the exchange turned toward Jeffrey Epstein, Prince Andrew, and Donald Trump, the hearing spiraled into complete chaos. The confrontation began when Lieu displayed photos involving former Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein while questioning Bondi about the Department of Justice's handling of investigations tied to Epstein's trafficking network. Lieu carefully walked Bondi through the fact that the Department of Justice had already acknowledged the photos involved a victim of sex trafficking and that the victim's face had been legally redacted for protection. But then the hearing took a much sharper turn. Lieu argued that if the DOJ already possessed evidence connecting high-profile individuals to Epstein's operation, then shutting down further investigations into uncharged individuals made no sense. He accused Bondi of protecting powerful men connected to Epstein rather than pursuing accountability for victims. And politically, this is where the exchange became explosive. Bondi attempted to redirect blame toward previous administrations, mentioning former Attorneys General Merrick Garland, Bill Barr, and Alex Acosta. But Lieu immediately pushed back, arguing that Bondi was now the Attorney General and therefore responsible for what the DOJ chooses to investigate today. That moment completely changed the tone of the hearing because the argument was no longer about past failures. It became about whether the current DOJ was actively refusing to pursue politically damaging investigations. Then Lieu escalated things even further by bringing Donald Trump directly into the discussion. After showing footage connected to Trump and Epstein, Lieu pressed Bondi on whether there were underage girls present at parties attended by Trump and Epstein together. Bondi rejected the allegations and defended Trump, saying there was no evidence he committed a crime. And that is the exact moment the hearing erupted. Lieu immediately interrupted and accused Bondi of lying under oath, arguing that witness testimony and information connected to the Epstein files constituted evidence that should have triggered further investigation. The tension inside the room became impossible to ignore. At one point, Bondi fired back emotionally, demanding that Lieu stop accusing her of crimes, while Lieu continued pressing the DOJ for failing to interview witnesses he claimed could provide critical information tied to Epstein and Trump. By the end of the exchange, the hearing had shifted far beyond a standard oversight discussion. Instead, it became a direct public fight over whether powerful political figures are being shielded from accountability and whether the Department of Justice is willing to aggressively pursue investigations involving politically connected individuals. Supporters of Lieu will likely argue that he exposed serious inconsistencies in the DOJ's handling of the Epstein files and forced uncomfortable questions into the public spotlight. Critics, meanwhile, will argue that some of the accusations crossed into speculation and political theater. But regardless of where people stand politically, one thing became very clear during this hearing. The Epstein issue continues to cast a massive shadow over American politics, and lawmakers are becoming increasingly willing to confront it publicly and aggressively. And judging by the intensity of this exchange, the political fallout from these questions is far from over. Subscribe to Capitol Breakdown HQ for more congressional hearing breakdowns and political analysis.